Friday, the 25th of July, 2025, there was severe panic amongst the West Ham fan base. Obviously, in the early hours of the morning, it was reported that the FA were due to announce a decision on Lucas Paqueta. Throughout the day, we've been waiting, and we've been waiting. And the longer you wait, the reports become mixed as to what the verdict will be. Some people will say he's innocent, some people will say he's guilty. Around about 6 p.m, 7 p.m, between that time frame, it had become apparent that a Brazilian journalist had felt that he had information that Lucas Paqueta would have been found guilty and would have been given a 3-year ban by the FA. Now, obviously, West Ham were not in the loop. They didn't know nothing about what the verdict was going to be. The FA have been pathetic over the past 2 years in dealing with this, and rightfully so, West Ham would have to rely on other sources to find out where they stand. They need to prepare for any eventuality that comes. So obviously the 3-year ban that was rumoured, West Ham would have had to immediately terminate Lucas Paqueta's contract. And yeah, they'd have to. Because obviously if he's been found of corruption, then how can you keep a player that has been found guilty? So, yeah, I found that out. I shared that news amongst West Ham fan groups in WhatsApp, and obviously it caused panic. It's not, I don't know this information, it's just something that I've been told, and it'll be wrong for me to not share it amongst people that I think would be interested in it. But around about 10:30 in the evening, those fears and worries were gone. And that's all thanks to Martin Ziegler at the Times. Now, Martin is a well-respected journalist, and he had been given information that Lucas Paqueta is innocent of all charges. Now, that is a massive sigh of relief from the player, from his family, from the club, from the fans, and football in general, because the way that the FA have dealt with this over the past 2 years has been pathetic, amateurish. This is a professional body, and he's basically ruined Paqueta's career for many reasons. You know, I know West Ham fans can probably say, "Yo, yeah, let him stay, we're loyal to him," but if this never occurred, he would have been a Man City player by now. £85 million release fee met. And yeah, like I say, if he was innocent from the start, he would not be a West Ham player now, and we'll be talking about a different player. But the fact discharges occurred, that move stalled, that move never happened. So he'd been playing for West Ham with a cloud over his head, and an opportunity which has harmed his career. I'm not saying it's ruined it, it's harmed it, because Man City could have been winning trophies. They could have been winning Champions Leagues. They could have been even in a better position to win the league. But you know, things like that we've never seen something like this happen in the Premier League ever, really. Lower league football, yes, but top flight, the biggest league in the world, and the oldest football association couldn't pull their finger out to make a decision, or they've gone off a hunch. They've gone off betting patterns that were completely out of the player's control. Because, I'm not being funny, if I knew a player that was quite erratic, was hot-headed, you knew that he was going to make certain challenges in certain positions, you don't need to be in the know or an inside trading to put a £5 bet on a player to pick up a booking. It's funny because Lucas Paqueta has been the scapegoat in this, but Edson Alvarez has picked up far too many yellow cards for West Ham, and it's funny how he's not been picked up for spot betting patterns. I mean, there was a time when he got sent off against Nottingham Forest. There was a time he got sent off, I believe, against Aston Villa or Liverpool even. So it's funny how things and suspicion doesn't raise with a player where betting patterns haven't come from his home area. So, but yeah, I think, again, that it's all over now. And thank God for that. And we can move forward. Whether Paqueta stays at West Ham for another year, that's all down to whether Graham Potter wants to keep him or West Ham decide to sell him. It won't be the £80 million that they were talking about a few seasons ago. It'll be something like £20 to £30 million. So it'll be interesting to see what happens with West Ham and Lucas Paqueta. But hopefully there's something that could be met with the player stays for one more season and repays the level of support that the club and the fan base have paid him, and then go on a golden handshake, because he deserves to play a season of football at West Ham where he's under no pressure, where he's can give his all, where he can commit to challenges without it being questioned for it, and play and start enjoying his football again. Once he gets that, once he puts West Ham in a better position than when he came. I mean, obviously he come and his assist put Jared Bowen through to win our first trophy in 40 odd years. You know, that was his first season. After that, you know, things just went downhill. And that's all the FA's fault. So, yeah, I'm going to finish it up here. I think Paqueta should stay at West Ham for one more season. Because again, he's got a FIFA World Cup that he needs to play in next year. He needs to be playing regular games, and he's going to be a starting position in one of the world's best leagues, playing for a West Ham team. That could cause a few shocks. I mean, there's been a lot of write-offs at the minute, but by the way Graham Potter's set up and the players he's brought in and the players he's managed to keep and convince to play a formation that's going to look quite positive next year, Paqueta could be very, very influential in that. Very influential. And that could cement his place in the Brazilian national team. At the end of the day, he wasn't dropped at all by the Brazil team for being a West Ham player. So he's got more chance of being in that squad for the World Cup next summer. So that's my opinion. There's some clarity. And I'll leave it at that. Any comments about getting your facts right, knowing certain ITKs that refer me information. I don't post all of it. And any slide digs or whatever, I'll let it fly. I'll let it fly. It is what it is. Everyone's entitled to their opinion. And there's no hard feelings. But we just move on and start supporting our club as a united fan base, and focus the energy and negativity towards those that truly deserve it. That's me. I'm out. Enjoy your weekend. Come on, you Irons.